Down with their draft fully complete is the reigning coach of the year from the Minnesota Vikings right now. There he is, Kevin O'Connell. Good to see you, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you guys doing?
We're doing better for seeing you on the screen. Before we get to the draft, you know what I'm going to ask you. Got to ask you about my guy. Got to ask you about the championship quarterback of Team 144 of the University of Michigan and JJ McCarthy and how he is doing right now.
He's doing great, Rich. He's, completed week one of the offseason program this week. And, he's really been in the building the whole offseason, completing his rehab. He's healthy. He's in a great spot. And I know he was very excited to get all his teammates back this week. And they were all excited to see him, man. We're hitting the ground running this spring. And JJ's certainly done a great job putting himself in a great position to have a great spring.
And in terms of how you see things working, you acquired Sam Howell today in a draft trade. How do you see your quarterback room shaping up? And we're going to find out about your schedule in a couple of weeks with the release, who the week one starter for your team's going to be.
Yeah, we got a lot of things to be excited about in the quarterback room around here. We've had a real strong plan in mind for JJ throughout this whole offseason. And then, like I said, to hit the ground running for the offseason program. We're going to get him as many reps as we possibly can and get him geared up for training camp. And then, bringing in Sam Howell today was a great move by Kwesi to, not have to lose any future picks and really kind of make a move within the draft and find the value enough to get Sam Howell to become a Minnesota Viking, a guy we did a lot of work on a few years back and got a chance to play in a bunch of games for Washington before moving on to Seattle, and really just another guy to acquire in his quarterback journey at a different point in time, now having been at a couple spots, and we still think that there's a lot in Sam's game to develop, but also see where he can take it within our system, within our quarterback development plan here in Minnesota. Feel really good about Josh McCown in that quarterback room, and all the talent and the things we've acquired, whether up front, the skill guys we do have that we feel so great about, and then just our system going into year 4, the evolution of that becoming as quarterback friendly as we can make it, while also challenging defenses and trying to do the things that it takes to win football games. So excited to add Sam. JJ's doing great, as the head coach and play caller of this team. I feel really good about the roster we have right now.
Coach, when you look at what you've done, I mean, everybody knows about your skill positions. You're talking about the quarterbacks, but you've got to be fired up when you can get Darisaw back healthy. You draft Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Will Freeze. You got one of the most athletic right tackles in Brian O'Neill. How pumped up are you for this offensive line getting a chance to work together?
Yeah, I think, when you go in, DJ, as you go into these off seasons, when you think about free agency and the draft, you go in with a plan in place, and then as the ebbs and flows happen and you start to really see the picture come together, sometimes it doesn't always work out the way that you want. Well, I would tell you guys this, to add to the group the way we did, knowing we've got CD and Brian O'Neill at the tackle spots, who when those guys are healthy, they play as good as anybody in this league. And then to think about working your way inside out, Ryan Kelly at the center position, a big, strong center that's played a lot of football, high IQ guy that can really take a lot off the quarterback's plate just from his football understanding. And then when the ball snapped, his play style, his physicality. This guy's been a really good center in this league for a long time. Getting Will Freeze at the right guard spot was huge. Him and Ryan Kelly have played a lot of football together, but Will Freeze brings a level of nasty to that group, finish, play style. This guy loves the physicality of football to where you can really project, even before adding a guy like Donovan Jackson, a level of play style and physicality that we're hunting around here. And then to find Donovan Jackson available at pick 24, we're really excited about that and really completed the full cycle. We still have Blake Brandell, who played a lot of good football for us a year ago and still very much should be considered part of the plans, as well as some good linemen that we drafted a year ago in Juergens and Rouse. And then we brought in a guy that's played a lot of tackle for that swing position in Justin School.
Hey, Coach, will you invite me to next year when you have your scrimmage, and it's a call-it scrimmage, you matching wits with Brian Flores? Because on defense this year, you're bringing Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins, another edge guy. And last year, your first-round pick, you got the young man out of Alabama. And so I'm looking with Dallas Turner. All these edges, because Van Ginkel and Grenard gave you great presence last year. How do they fit into Brian Flores' plans, and what are you looking for from them?
Yeah, Charles, when you come out for that one, I might let you call the plays against Flo in that group.
I think Flo would like that a lot.
I'd probably prefer that, but no, it's exciting, and I think the really interesting thing about the free agency plan on defense, it kind of worked its way back from the line of scrimmage as well. Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, these guys are guys that have been, pretty impactful players their entire career from the inside, both in the run and the pass phase. We really wanted to get a little bit more active, with some playmaking in there to go along with, the two Pro Bowl representatives from the NFC on the edge with Van Ginkel and Jonathan Grenard. But then I hope people haven't forgotten about Dallas Turner, because I'm glad you mentioned him. Really a guy that I'm expecting a huge jump from year one to year two. He really started to come on as the season went on last year. It's a tough group, tough lineup to crack when you've got those top two guys playing the way that they were. And then, on the back end to get Harrison Smith back, such a leader, such a featured part of what we want to do. That guy kind of quarterbacking the defense from the back end, get the corner position with Byron Murphy coming back, and Isaiah Rodgers is a guy that I know Brian Flores thinks has a tremendous upside and best football ahead of him, as talented as he is. And then how about Jet Fukuda, a guy that was a really high draft pick, has all the traits, very smart player. We've had our struggles against him at times, dealing with his length and strength at the line of scrimmage. So I just look at our group as a whole. And I feel like Flo has a lot of different tools to work with, and getting Ty Ingram-Dawkins was another piece, because now he's a guy that can, you see him line up everywhere. He can play on the edge, he can play inside, he can be very active. The way we play defensively, kind of the perfect storm of a really unique player with a lot of upside, but also a tremendous scheme fit for what Flo and the guys want to do. So you start talking about all these pieces, and thank goodness you promised to call plays this spring or training camp whenever you show up, because I'm going to hold you to that.
I don't know that I actually did, but somehow I am.
You're in. You're locked in.
Coach,
thanks for the time. Really appreciate it. Congrats on getting through the draft, and now on to making the roster cash. Thanks for the time, and send my best to JJ.
Will do. Looking forward to seeing you run here in a little bit, man. I've been waiting for that.
You're the only one in America, sir. But let's raise some money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Thank you so much for mentioning that. We're gonna do our best to get some money raised. Thanks for the time, sir.
There you go. Appreciate you guys.
You got it. That's the